Hello, hello. Welcome back to Unscripted with Ellen. It's been a minute, you guys. I was busy being toxic and letting myself be love bombed for the last week. So let's get into it. First of all, I'm still not really dating. So this all came about in sort of an unintentional way. I've still not really had success on the dating apps. I was doing a little messaging and matching here and there, but as conversations do on those things, they just sort of fell off and nothing came of them. So I wasn't really planning on doing any dating. And a friend of mine asked me to go see a play of his the other weekend. So I went out to see his play. It's a platonic friend. Play was amazing. We were all out greeting the cast afterwards outside the theater, and this kind of tall, handsome guy introduces himself to me, and I don't know what to say. Next thing I know, he's kind of like sweeping me away from the crowd, and we're going to get a drink down the street. The conversation was nice. He was good looking. He had some character traits I won't fully get into, but they weren't like necessarily like the Hollywood typical things that you run into. So I was into it and he was funny. We walked down the street, we have a beer, we're goofing off, we're having great conversation. He looks a little young. I ask his age. He doesn't want to tell me at first. Anyways, it turns out he's 5 years younger than me. I tell him my age. He doesn't seem to mind. But we have this like great fun night together. We wind up kissing in the bar. I don't like usually do that, but I was like a little feeling it. So we don't even finish our beers and he walks me back to my car and he presses me up against my car and he makes out with me and he's tall and strong and manly, like he could chop wood, sort of manly. And I'm into it. And he says goodnight and he strides away. And I think this young man has a shot. I don't know what I'm thinking. But I get home, I go to sleep, and by the next morning, my instincts have already kicked in. I have all the old fears of that was too much fun. That was too easy. Um, this is probably nothing to get excited about. But I decide that might just be old trauma speaking. I don't want to like jinx this thing if maybe he is just like a good catch that I finally stumbled on a good catch. I didn't want to jinx it, but I told myself what he messages me today will really tell me what he's looking for. First thing in the morning, he starts asking for pics. That's just not a good sign in my book. If the man is asking for a photograph first thing, it's like, well, he's horny. Or I thought maybe he wanted to see me in the light of day, my old ass, older than him, and see if like maybe I'm as cute the next day as maybe he thought. I give him the benefit of the doubt. I send him a little no makeup, no cutesy photo. This is the test. He tells me I look good. I'm like, okay, maybe it's fine. We're back to the fun banter. I'm like, maybe it's fine. But then by that evening, he slips up and he says that he thinks I'm a nympho. And this is where I know this man's fantasy world has gone completely astray because no, I'm not. Am I a sexual being? Yes. Did we have chemistry? Yes. Am I just out here trying to fuck? No. So then I have to start doing the little old shy lady act, play tease, play hard to get, because I'm starting to like have the red flags. But somehow this guy recovers it. Like he's cute, he's fun, he does have some things going for him. And so I proceed to let him love bomb me for the whole week over the phone. He's calling me on FaceTime every day. He's sending me sexy photos. We're chatting, we're sending jokes. I think it's all cute, right? But I also think I know what this is. And sure enough, he starts mentioning like when we're going to hook up, blah, 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 and saying, should we get tested so we can do it without a condom? And I'm like, well, sir, first of all, you should get tested anytime you hook up with a person. Yes, please go get tested, irregardless of me. Also, I've done that. I'm good to go. But also, we're not there yet. And also, you complaining about a condom? No, he's one of those. I'm like, sir, do you even know that there are STDs that they cannot test for on men, that they can still pass to women? Of course, he doesn't know this. Anyways, it just becomes very apparent. He's like emotionally immature, just trying to get laid. I try to let the fantasy go as long as possible, but then finally I push him a little bit and I'm like, do you really see us blending our lives together? And he's like, truthfully, no, I don't see a future. And I'm like, why are you talking to me? This is the difference between men and women. If women do not see a future with someone, at least a possibility of it on some realm of possibility, they will not continue to speak or entertain a man. Whereas men, if they do not see a future, they will still pursue the most low, basic, meaningless connections with women. And I don't know what that has to say about men's, I don't know, self respect. Or maybe they're just not suffering enough consequences. I know women face a lot of consequences for their actions sexually and how they go about in the world. Just by the risks that they put themselves in, the physical harm, the potential for STDs, the potential for pregnancy, all these things. Men don't really experience all that at all in the same way. So I'm like, do they just fundamentally not get it? But it is times like this where I'm like, the men are not lonely enough. This man clearly has had too easy of a time getting laid in his time as a single man. And I will not be contributing to that. Really, at the end of the day, I was toxic. I saw the red flags. I let it persist. And I have to admit that I slipped up a little bit. It was nice finding someone actually attractive. I'm not sure that always happens. I think for a lot of women, there's a lot of like, well, he's nice. He treats me well. He has a certain je ne sais quoi, but it's not like he's hot is not always in the equation for women. And it was nice to have that like basic attraction with someone for once. There was that. And then I also just have to admit, like, I've been single for so long and I don't date. And I wanted the fantasy for a minute. I think that's okay. I'm proud of myself for being self aware and not being indulgent to some of my own fantasies to the point where I would put myself in emotional or physical risk. But I wanted to be wanted by somebody. I wanted to feel a man pressed against me. I wanted to feel intimacy. I wanted to feel horny. Like these are things I don't feel very often. And even though it was so superficial and going nowhere, and I really could have seen that the whole way. It was nice. It was nice. I have no ill will for this person. I think they're definitely in a different place than I am and looking for different things. I hope they get their shit together about this condom business, as all men should. There should be zero complaints about wrapping it up. And if you really, really, really don't want to use a condom, you wait until you're madly in love with a person and you talk about other options. But oh, you don't want to wait that long? Yeah, then you have to wrap it up, buddy. Okay? That's the option. That's the option. And that's all I have to say about that. This has been such a PSA episode. Also just I think this is just me admitting that As much as I love living alone and being independent, and I am happy, it's okay to admit that I think, want a partner, and I am ready for that now. It is something I am looking for, even if I'm not like hunting for it actively. I am always on the lookout. I think this was a wake up call that this is something I still really, really want. And to not be disheartened, there's still some fun out there for me. I just have to find it. So who knows? I met this person randomly on a night out. Anything could happen. I could meet someone tomorrow. My whole life could change tomorrow. So we're going to stay optimistic. Your girl had a little minute of fun, a little fantasy life for a second. And we move along. I watched this show, Wayward, on Netflix. I have to bring it up. It's with Mae Martin and Tony Collette, and it's sort of like a culty murder mystery, lots of twists and turns. And I'm gonna leave it at that. I really enjoyed it. I binged it. If you want something new to watch, I would say give it a try. I'm used to Mae Martin doing a bunch of comedy stuff, so it was nice to see them in this really dramatic role and honestly looking fine as hell. Okay, wait till you see May in these like tight t-shirts. You'll know what I mean. The arm muscles are there. It's so hot. Okay. I digress. Other than that, I want to mention this is a little embarrassing and vulnerable, but I entered a contest to be a Playboy Playmate in 2026. There's also like a secondary contest in there to be in the inside cover of the same issue. So there's like too many contests going on, but I'm putting myself out there. I've entered in, some of these social media people vote for you contests in the past and obviously did not have success. But I don't know. I felt like maybe slightly I stood a chance in this. I had a good feeling about it. I just felt like I don't want to be the person saying no. Why not just put myself out there and being vulnerable and admit that this is something I want and just hope that my community will have my back and vote for me and see how far it goes. I'm trying to just build up my community of voters along the way. And if nothing else, I'm excited that I've started this dialogue with a community of people that are rallying for me and voting for me every day. It's been so fun to chat with them. I think this is like a long contest. So just the process of getting people on board has been fun so far. And it's really nice to have people express their support and just log on and vote. And I can see, the numbers go up as people vote. So it just means a lot. I'm super grateful. And for me, it would just be the ultimate symbol of everything I've been working on over the last few years. This sort of like bold self expression I've allowed myself to have online, despite all the career things I have going on, to allow myself to be um, a sexual person, to embrace my sensuality and how I like to express myself and have confidence. And it's always something I've enjoyed doing these types of photo shoots. So doing it with Playboy is like kind of the Olympics, the Oscars of nude photography, if you will. So I'm here for it. Thank you to everyone that's voted so far. This contest, if we keep rocking it through these rounds, will go till like I think the end of November. So there's still time. Check out my website for the link if you want to vote, exploreellensworld.com. You'll find the link there. And yeah, thanks again to everybody that's just been showing up for me. You're the best. Really, really, really. I've been auditioning some. The industry is still a little up and down right now. It is frustrating. I'm trying every day to just stay in it, stay focused. It's so hard to pick momentum up after you let yourself lose steam. So I'm just trying to stay on top of everything. I'm getting into exercising again, just so I'm like up and at 'em in the morning. Trying to just get my makeup done in case I can film something for social media, or if a commercial casting comes through and I have short notice, I can just like knock it out. I'm trying to play the mental game right now of just like staying in it, because quitting and starting up again is so much harder than just like chugging through. Truly. I've learned this over the years. Consistency is the most important thing. Like knocking it out of the park here or there is not enough to get it done. You really just have to keep coming to every game and doing your best and showing up. I don't want to have baseball analogies here. I'm sorry. Go Dodgers, whatever. But you know what I mean. This is like the creative challenge when it's either feast or famine. You're either like smothered with too much work, or you're trying to get the work rolling and it's famine season. So, you're saving a little snack for later, you're tucking it away for the winter, and you're trying to get the garden going early in spring. Wow, now we're coming up with garden analogies. You guys, this is the creative life. We tell ourselves all the analogies, all the stories to just keep going. You dig deep. I'm not trying to do more garden analogies that just came out. Anyways, I took myself out on a date earlier today. I've been feeling a little dumpy after the whole love bombing episode. Of course, once you come back to reality and you let it go, you let the fantasy go, there is a little bit of like, wah, wah. Life loses a little color for a minute, because you don't have the blinders on anymore. So it's like, yeah, let's get back to this is my quiet life, and that's okay. It's great. But I wanted to make the most of it. So I took myself out to a little happy hour today. I got a little dressed up, put a skirt on, put on some makeup. I brought my book. It's called Lone Women. It seems to be like a feminist frontierswoman story. I don't even know what to expect so far, but the pacing of it is really good. I sat down at the restaurant, and by the time I left, I was 8 chapters in. So it's like a quick read, and that you just keep turning the pages. So I'm actually really excited. Hopefully this is like the fiction book I need to get back into reading mode, because this has not been the best year for reading. I think I've more so listened to some like books on tape, or like audiobooks, whatever. Not to age myself, but like actual flipping the pages books, yeah, haven't really finished any. So hopefully this is the one that I commit to. I'm usually so bad about like picking up multiple books at a time, reading half of them, putting them down, switching to a different book, forgetting what I read in the other one, coming back to it, having to go back. You know what I mean? It's a hot mess. But I'll let you know how this one goes. Hopefully, I finish it here soon. I'm really excited for Halloween. I'm already planning my costumes. I actually have like 6 options lined up, which is insane. I got invited to one big Halloween party already, so I'm gonna need a really sexy costume for that one. I don't think I have anything actually appropriate enough for that. Like, I need a lingerie style costuming. So we're gonna figure that out. I might have to go to Trashy Lingerie, which is in West Hollywood. They do like amazing custom costumes that are very sexy. We'll see if it's in the budget, but hopefully I get out and do some Halloween things this year. Lord knows I say that every year, and then the season passes. I can't believe Halloween is past already, but we're going to try not to do that this year. So I'll keep you posted if I actually go do anything festive. We will see. All right, you guys, thanks for listening to this episode of Unscripted with Ellen. It was chaotic as usual. Thanks for hanging in there. If you have any comments or questions for future episodes, please send them my way. Take care of yourselves and happy spooky season. I'll see you back here soon. Bye.